Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back the layers of corporate filings to reveal the real story. And today we're looking at Terra Innovatum Global NV and a very revealing amendment to their Form 8. Get ready because this filing is all about making some important corrections and shedding light on executive compensation. So, what's the big deal with this filing? It's an amendment, meaning they messed up the first time. Specifically, they are correcting a significant error in reporting compensation for one of their executives and tidying up some duplicate information. It also gives us a peek into the compensation packages for their top brass. Let's dive into what this amendment actually brings to light. It seems there was a typo, a pretty big one, in a previous report filed late last year. The report is from Terra Innovatum Global NV, a company incorporated in the Netherlands, and they're trading on the Nasdaq under the ticker symbol NKLR. This amendment is here to fix some specific errors, primarily concerning compensation details. The company states this Form 8 KA is being filed to correct typographical errors. The main correction relates to the compensation for Mr. Cherubini at the subsidiary level, which was initially reported as US 16,832.00 but is now corrected to a much larger year, 116,832.00. They also mentioned deleting duplicate entries in a previous table, which is always a good sign when a company cleans up its records. Now let's talk about what is really interesting, the compensation for the key people. On the 17th of December 2025, the Remuneration Committee, which is basically a committee that decides how much people get paid, approved new agreements for some of their top managers. These are called directorship agreements, and they lay out the terms for compensation as officers and executive directors. The agreements are pretty similar for each manager, with variations mainly for their specific roles and pay. Let's break down the fixed annual compensation for 2025 and 2026 for the named executives. Mr. Alessandro Petruzzi, the Chief Executive Officer, will receive a fixed annual compensation for the financial year 2025 of Euro 500,000, paid out as he serves for 2026. His fixed compensation will be Euro 558,000, paid in 12 monthly installments. Mr. Massimo Merici, the Chief Strategy Officer, gets Euro 400,000 for 2025, also prorated, and Euro 450,000 for 2026 in monthly payments. And Mr. Ciese Frappoli, the Chief Operating Officer, is set to receive Euro 450,000 for 2025, and here is a potential typo in the filing itself. It says Euro 500,000 for 2026, which would be a massive jump, assuming this is a typo and should be Euro 500,000. Or something similar, he'll also be paid in 12 monthly payments. Beyond their fixed salaries, all three managers, Mr. Petruzzi, Mr. Merici, and Mr. Frappoli, are entitled to receive bonuses. The amount of these bonuses will depend on achieving certain goals that will be laid out in separate agreements. This is pretty standard practice, linking pay to performance. These agreements are set for a one-year term, ending after the company's annual general meeting in 2026. They can be renewed each year, but they can also be terminated if the manager leaves their role by mutual agreement or for specific reasons like termination for cause by the company or resignation for cause by the manager. Now, here is a really interesting clause: change in control. If the company terminates the manager's employment without a good reason, or if a manager resigns for a good reason, specifically in connection with a change in control of the company, they're in for a substantial payout. They would receive a lump sum equal to 18 months of their fixed compensation, plus their target bonus, calculated as if they hit 100% of their performance goals. They also get a prorated bonus for the time served that year, continued healthcare for 18 months, and outplacement services. Any stock options or awards that have vesting schedules will either keep vesting or be accelerated depending on the original award agreements. This is a pretty common feature designed to protect top executives if their jobs are at risk due to a merger or acquisition. The agreements also specify that the company will own any intellectual property that the managers create, whether on their own or with others while they are in their roles. This ensures the company benefits from the innovations of its leadership. Finally, these agreements include standard non-disparagement clauses, meaning the managers agree not to speak ill of the company, and non-solicitation restrictions for a year after they leave. This is to prevent them from poaching employees or clients after their departure. Moving on, the Remuneration Committee also approved payments to officers at Terra Innovatum SRL, which is a wholly owned subsidiary. These payments, approved directly by the parent company as the sole shareholder, are in recognition of a successful business combination and the listing of the company's shares on Nasdaq. Here's a look at those bonus payments. Mr. Alessandro Petruzzi received a bonus of Euro 130,374.00. Mr. Marco Cherubini, whose initial reported compensation was corrected. received a bonus of euro 116,832.00. Mr. Cesar Freppoli got euro 116,832.00. Mr. Massimo Morici received euro 105,144.00. There are also payments in US dollars for Mr. Guillaume Moyen of $100,002 and for Morici Atelier LLC, including Giordano Morici of $131,400. On top of these bonuses, there were additional payments approved. Mr. Alessandro Petruzzi received an additional EUR 75,000. Mr. Marco Cherubini received another EUR 75,000. And Mr. Cesar Freppoli received EUR 47,700. The filing also lists the exhibits, which include the forms of the directorship agreements for Mr. Petruzzi, Mr. Morici, and Mr. Freppoli. These are incorporated by reference from a previous filing, meaning the details are already available, but this amendment confirms their approval and terms. We also see the interactive data file for the cover page. And so, to wrap up the formal part, the report is signed by Alessandro Petruzzi, indicating he is acting on behalf of Terra Innovatum Global NV as Chief Executive Officer, with the date of signing being the 7th of January 2026. Now, let's put on our analyst hats this filling. While technically an amendment to correct errors tells us a few things. First, the correction in Mr. Cherubini's compensation from a relatively small amount to over 100,000 euros is significant. It highlights the importance of accurate reporting, especially when it involves executive pay, and suggests his role or the bonuses tied to the successful business combination were substantial. The directorship agreements reveal clear compensation structures for the top executives, which is crucial for understanding how their interests are aligned with the company's success, especially with the bonus and change in control clauses. The inclusion of substantial bonuses at the subsidiary level, tied to a successful business combination and listing, shows the company is rewarding key personnel during critical growth phases. However, the potential typo of euro 500000 for Mr. Freppoli in 2026 warrants a closer look in future filings. If accurate, it is a massive increase and could signal a significant shift in his responsibilities or perceived value. The change in control provisions are robust, offering significant protection to executives in the event of an acquisition, which can be good for stability, but also adds to the company's potential liabilities. Overall, Terra Innovatum Global NV appears to be solidifying its leadership structure and compensating its key players for contributions to significant corporate milestones like the Nasdaq listing. The focus on bonuses tied to these achievements is a clear indicator of management's strategy to incentivize performance during periods of growth and transition, the clarity on compensation despite the initial error, and the detailed change. Control clauses suggest a mature approach to executive management and risk mitigation. What is your take on these executive compensation packages and the bonus payouts? Do you think the company's structure is designed for long-term success or to protect its top brass? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown informative and gained some valuable insights, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives into corporate filings. We also have a fantastic community over on Discord where we discuss these topics further. And you can find the link in the description. Thanks for tuning in to Corporate Decoder, and we'll see you in the next one.